Yo, 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 what is up? This is Damage Per Second Podcast. Running a little late, but we are still here with your homie, SloMoBackSlap, and the homie Gaming Forte. We are here for another episode of DPS Podcast, episode number 74. We are getting up there. We're getting up there in age, man. We're going to hit that 100 really, really soon. Shout out to everybody that's out here in the chat right now. Shout out to Mitchie Dies a Lot for being here first. Shout out to the Ash and Luca asking us where the heck are we right now. Mitchie Dies a Lot said the podcast should said that he was replying to Luca. It's fine. But yes, we are back once again. Forte, how's it going, bro?
Yo, man, it's going. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but I am here for the people. I am here because DPS podcast is life outside of video games. And it's always good to do this with my best friend, SloMoBackSlap, every week. So no matter how tired I am after working a 13-hour day, I'm going to be here because SloMo is the man. And plus, I ain't have to host today, so that's even better.
Right. But, I'm definitely going to make sure to keep this live for you. So, like, if you think you're gonna get some time to relax, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be on you with all the topics, everything on the money. That's how we doing it. Shout out to Dr. Sarakis and Railzair 00. You know how I got that name correct.
Mm-hmm.
But Forte, outside of working like a Hebrew slave, what have you been up to, and what games you been playing?
I won the game. Guess what the game was?
Destiny.
That's it. Raid was on Saturday. Still haven't beat it. Kind of crazy, but it is what it is. That thing will fall in the next day or so. But yeah, man, I really didn't get a chance to play anything on Sunday and Monday because I was dealing with an audit at my store, and yeah, when you gotta, work on stuff like that, is like that took precedence, and I was like, I ain't gonna have no time to do anything but focus on this. And needless to say, went okay, got all that stuff together, and then I had people call off work today, and I had to work all day by myself at work today. So
wait a minute. So wait, hold on, because I didn't know you were by yourself.
Oh yeah, all day.
Oh
all
man.
Day.
Look, I've been there before. I used to work retail when I was working in rent-a-car back, this is like a decade ago. Man, like I've had them days. I had to work one day. The worst day, anyone who's ever worked in rent-a-car would know this. The worst day of the year is the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because everyone's trying to rent a car and go visit relatives and stuff. And there's too many reservations. There are people who make a reservation and don't cancel it. They don't pick up. You end up either with a bunch of cars that you didn't need, or you end up with not enough cars. I always ended up with not enough cars. And look, and I get it. It's like that Seinfeld episode. It's like, yo, what did I make a reservation for? Is it a suggestion to get me a car? Because I would have I used to maintain like 3 locations, and I would have like three locations with like 75 reservations per location. I can't even fit 75 cars in my parking lot. So it's just like, it's always a bad time. But like, I had to do this one Thanksgiving by myself. And it wasn't even my location. I had to cover a different location because the employees there quit overnight. They just refused to do it. They all quit. And so there was nobody to run the location. And so it was awful. Anyway, like instead of me, going over my nightmares, what other games do you plan on playing once you're done with Destiny?
As soon as I get through this week, Elden Ring is on the deck. It's already installed. It's time to go. Keep looking at all these people enjoying their time out there.
What class are you trying to play?
I'm going samurai, man. Same thing. I just like to be nimble. I don't like that whole fat rolling thing. Screw all that. I need to be able to feel like I can breathe a little bit. So that's probably where I'm gonna go. But it's gonna probably end up being multiple different classes. I saw you messing around with a couple of your different builds and stuff, and it looks really interesting. So the cool thing about it is you can play the game however you want to play it, and the game definitely lends into that. And that's why you see people with well over 60 hours in the game, 70 hours, and only beat one or two bosses, because the exploration is like kind of taking center stage in this game, and then you just basically just play it at your own pace and leisure. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't know when I'm going to get to Horizon, if I'm going to get to Horizon at this point.
Here we go. Look, well, I mean, look, you weren't all that big on the game anyway, so I'm not shocked that you might not get to Horizon.
I have it though. Just saying.
I'm okay. So I'll talk about what I've been playing. So, like I said last week, that I was going to be going back and forth between Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring.
You quit, didn't you? You don't do that.
I haven't quit. I just haven't gone back to Horizon yet.
You quit.
I have not quit. I have not quit.
When last time you played it? When last time you played it? How long ago?
Like a week ago.
You quit.
I haven't quit, man. Look,
quit.
I'm going.
Well, you're on hiatus.
I'm going back to it, bro. I'm going back to it
in 3 or 4 weeks, maybe in a month. Because listen, there's nothing wrong with it, bro. You just like listen. You are just like you are a normal person, SloMo. You are not this deity that people probably make you out to be. You are a normal person.
Wait,
walked in.
People make me out to be a deity. What is this?
You got some fans out there, but let's be for real, SloMo. You walk this earth just like everybody else. You bleed like everybody else. You drink water, eat food like everybody else. I put my pants on
one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
Sometimes you put them on backwards, but that's okay.
Oh no!
But guess what?
I stopped doing that like 6 years ago.
6 years ago, right when the penguins started smoking on your porch, huh?
Right.
but
that's an inside joke. Ain't nobody else gonna get that.
Right, nobody else gonna get that. But listen, I understand, bro, because that's the reason I didn't even start Horizon. Even though Horizon came out a week before Destiny, and even knowing Elden Ring came out after Destiny, like by 2 or 3 days, there was no way that I was going to start either one of those games. And in your case, unless you were going to beat Horizon, which I know you like to take your sweet time and enjoy the story, I knew once Elden Ring came out and it got its hooks inside of you, it was a wrap. So I don't know when you gonna do it, bro, but it's gonna be a while.
I'm gonna beat Horizon before I beat Elden Ring. That's the way it seems to me. And especially at the pace I'm going, where my highest level character is like 76, and that's the one that you see on the screen right now. This is my strength build character. So I'm using what is called the Bloodhound Fang sword that does bleed damage once you get enough hits in. And I got on this really cool armor called the twinning armor. And I mean, look, man, I wouldn't say if I was just doing one character, because I also have a prisoner build, I also have a astrologer build, and I have a dexterity twin blade build. I'm using twin katanas and twin I forgot what they call that kind of blade, but whatever. I'm not trying to say it wrong. Anyway, I'm doing like both of those, but so I got 4 different builds, and the lowest one is like maybe level 42, and the highest is this one at level 76. And I'm probably.
What level are you now?
Yeah, I said, this is level 76 for my character.
Oh, you are? You're level 76 for your character, okay.
Yeah, I've probably spent the most time on this one in my dexterity dual wielding build characters. I haven't really done too much with the magic ones, but like I'm not that far, man. It's like I've realized I need to just kind of like buckle in, just choose one and just push forward with it. But I feel like once I go back to Horizon, just play it a little bit, because every time I play Horizon, even if I don't even, I said Horizon. What are you talking about?
You just said Horizon.
I did not say whatever. Look, every time I play Horizon, every time I play it, I always say like, let me put in an hour or two, and I end up playing for like 3 hours. So I'm going to, when I go back to it, I'm definitely going to finish it before I finish this. But I have been playing this. I've been playing
what up, Sir Taz?
More Road Company. What's up, Taz? Let me shout out some people in chat real quick. Shout out to Percolator, who's still asking me for points that he did not earn on my Twitch channel. Shout out to him. Shout out to Firestarter66. What's up? Shout out to Erodimus. Shout out to Bunty, Dr. Sarakas. All right, and Taz, of course, the homie Taz.
How many of these people have you like that migrated from your Twitch over here? Because some new people in the chat. Any of these people like new from Twitch that came over here to come check you out?
I really kind of think it's a mix. It's probably more people from the YouTube side that's gone to Twitch, and then some. Because I will whenever I'm actually live around the same time other people are, I'll as we do on Twitch, like you'll raid someone else's stream. And so, and then other people have raided me, and then you kind of mix with other people's communities, and people that you're cool with, and like you enjoy watching their streams, and then their people come watch your streams, and they enjoy yours too. So, but I think what's kind of different about my streaming is that I stream a lot during like the day during lunchtime, and a lot of other people mostly don't stream until like the evening, so it's always a little off. But whenever I do stream, other people stream, and I know they're streaming, I try to make sure to raid them and stuff like that. But this I'm enjoying Elden Ring, and I've been playing with Luca, my soul Sifu. You know, she's been helping me out and showing me the ropes with things, and giving me pointers on some things, and some things like things that Souls people know that I don't know because I'm not a Souls person. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. What else? But yeah, in Road Company. I've been playing Road Company because this new season, they just came out with this new skin that turns one of your characters into Rambo. So I had to spend the money on that and then go around.
How much did that cost? $20.
I plead the fifth. So
343. This is where you get it from.
I pleads the fifth. So
it's probably $25 if you go plead the fifth.
No, you was right about the 20. You was right about the 20.
Oh my God. Look, man.
He looked just like Rambo. I had to get it, man. I had to get it. Imagine, you come into a match and then, I throw a machete at your forehead and then start, chopping you down with an AK. I mean, like, it's Rambo. Anyway, like I had to. But anyway, it's let's just go ahead and get into it. It's been good. I've been gaming a lot. I haven't been playing as many games as I normally play, just because I've been really stuck on Elden Ring.
How many games are you up to now?
I'm still at 6, I think. Let me double check. I think hold on. I might be at 7.
Okay, I thought you would have been at double digits by now, but okay.
Look, I always say when it comes to games beat, I'm a slow starter. It's like a ball that rolls downhill. Like in the beginning, it's slow, but then it's the year goes on. I just start knocking them out.
You need to add some more snow to that hill.
Excuse me, sir. How many have you beat?
2.
Okay, so like I've beat 3 times as many as you so far. So like I think I can keep up to the pace I'm currently at right now and be just fine. Just saying.
So I will be remiss. I want to be fair to you. I haven't been saying nothing all week, but I'm going to say something now because you're at the 1 week mark of having to go play Alien Isolations because I still ain't seen no video.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick.
So I'm just giving you. Come on, tell me.
It will be. I know y'all have heard this from me before, but I am I am so close right now. Look, I've been working on it almost all day, and I'm at the end of the video, and like I thought I had some footage that I needed. For a certain example of like new techniques that are being used to create black hair in video games, and I didn't. So now I gotta reinstall a game and just go do like really like 30 seconds. I need 30 seconds of like specific scenes
Mm-hmm.
to really just get that recorded. Then I can edit that into the video, and then I'll be all set to go. Then I can go ahead and work on my thumbnail, get it rendered. It'll be up tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's gonna be up tomorrow.
Okay, you don't get another reminder. Just say.
Look, I'm good. Like, I don't need one. Look, I've been thinking about it because I was like, I am not playing Aliens or Alien Isolation. I refuse. Y'all not gonna be having me, making all high pitched kind of sounds and stuff. Like, but nah, fam, it ain't happening. It is not happening. I'm not playing that game. Shout out to Alpha Will with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Alpha Will. He says, "What's up, fellas? Have a great show." Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alpha Will.
And since we talking about the show, let's just go ahead and get into the first topic. Our first topic here is Bungie making a third-person action game, not a shooter. Action game is what was said. So Forte, what are your thoughts on that, man?
It's been rumored for a while that they were making a third-person game. I kind of think Destiny has always kind of been a template for it, especially since they had third-person view for certain aspects of the game where you're doing certain things like holding relics and stuff like that. I think they would do very, very well with a type of game like that. Mm-hmm. It's something that would be a lot different compared to what they usually have done, especially over the last 2 decades of just making games. Mm-hmm. But I do think it would be something... I think it would be something beneficial to them to actually go in there. I do hear that it is kind of roped into not the Destiny universe per se, but they're trying to keep everything kind of cohesive with each other. I don't know if it's going to be like a spinoff or something like that. The code name of the game that we know it is Matter. Don't know if that's going to be the final verdict of that game.
Probably not. You know how code names are. They're just there to kind of...
Yeah, so that's what they've been working on.
Yeah,
that's what they've been pretty much working on in conjunction with Destiny 2 ever since 2018. And so this is it's definitely a good thing. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing exactly what it is. The biggest thing is I just always look forward to the stories that Bungie do bring, and hopefully they don't start out this game like they started out with Destiny, even though they are hitting their stride now with the new DLC and the way that they're doing their storytelling inside the games, that people is really, really enjoying what they've been bringing over the last calendar year. This game needs to hit from the beginning. We don't need this whole, tell me in different aspects of media when it comes to like books and everything. It kind of needs to be a part of the game from day one. But I really enjoy the third person aspects of Destiny when we play it now, and hoping that they really dive deeper into that would be a really, really cool thing, especially if they do conversation trees. Like if they get to like that whole where your decisions really, really truly matter and stuff. Depending on what kind of third-person action adventure game they're building. Does it have a lot of role-playing elements and stuff into it? Those are all different things that I would like to see them actually tackle, because I do think they can really do well in that space. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people will be super excited just to see something new from Bungie, not just the same thing they've been kind of doing for the last couple of decades.
Yeah, I always think back to how Destiny could have been an all third-person perspective game if like the very early people who were interested in Destiny, who were making Destiny before a lot of the other Bungie staff that were working on Halo Reach and Halo ODST had came over. Like they were originally in pre-production that had wanted it to be a third-person game.
Yeah, they did.
Third-person shooter. But then there was a lot of internal fighting on that, and then it ended up being very much kind of when I think about the like vanilla Destiny 1, it was basically I just kept thinking about like this is like Halo but with like RPG elements and levels and stuff, because like the enemy archetypes and like the different classes of enemies were very similar to the Covenant and everything, and it was just like, man, like it just kind of amazed me that they had like all these different ideas of things to do and then never actually really got a chance to do them. So it would be interesting to see their take on it and see how well they'll do it. I do hope though that they kind of they take some of the same choices that other developers who are doing something new have done, which is don't think that you can just do this on your own. Don't think that you can just take the same people who have been making a first-person shooter for your company for 2 decades and think, yeah, we can just do third-person action.
Right.
Why not? Like, but it's like what you end up with that is you end up with these games where people ask questions about some of the game design. It was like, yo, other developers have solved this issue years ago. And why are you still dealing with something that like the gaming industry overall no longer deals with? And it's just like, oh, it's because you you didn't bring in people who actually have successfully shipped great games in that genre before. And that's what I kind of hope that they do. That they're shipping, they're going to have people there that have shipped great games that are third-person action perspective. I don't know if it's going to be hack and slash or if it'll have RPG elements or whatever, but like whatever kind of game that they're trying to make, they need to make sure they got people there who have already been through the trials and tribulations of making those kind of games. It can kind of help them avoid some of the pitfalls that'll be there. What do you think about that, man?
No, I agree. And shout out to Chris Singleton. He says, did they just start this or has it been in pre-production for a while? We should be hearing something about this game probably within, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard something at some point this year, but probably no later than the middle of next year. I think that game is literally right around the corner.
Really?
They said that they said that after Lightfall, that would be the end. Well, that's like coming up to the end. They got Nightfall is coming up for Destiny either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, depending on what they do with their development cycle. And then the final shape is their DLC for 2023. That's basically the end of the Destiny, story as we know it right now. But they already said it in between there is going to be when they're going to release their new game. So we don't know if that's going to be early 2023. That could be the
NetEase game.
It could be. We don't know. They haven't said anything. We don't know what it's going to be. It could, like I said, who knows? There's really no information outside of we just know the code name of what the game is. That's about it. But I'm looking forward to whatever that is and whenever
they're still very far away, and here's why. Because there is a job announcement out from Bungie for a creative director. And so if you don't have the creative director locked down yet, then I think...
Well, is that just for one... Is that for the whole game, or is that just for parts of the game? Because they have different parts of it.
It says the responsibilities of this person would be to work with the game director and project leadership team to define a compelling pitch for a new action. To define a compelling pitch for a new action game.
Well, that might be in pre-production then.
Right. So they have an idea of what they want to make, but they don't even have a prototype or anything yet to actually like pitch it to Bungie leadership and say, can we make this or not? So like they're really early. This is something completely different.
This
we won't even see this game in this generation. This generation just started. That's how I feel about it. Like I don't. This is gonna be on a PlayStation 6.
Probably so. You would be, but everything else you were.
you notice I didn't say an Xbox.
It will be everywhere.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Bungie already.
They already said that they're all multiplayer. They're all multi-platform.
Owned by PlayStation. Remember that.
So it'll be on Xbox. It'll be on the Xbox.
Ain't that still crazy when you think about that? Like they literally have the same cachet as PlayStation because they're an subsidiary of Sony, which is in line with PlayStation, but they're not under PlayStation. It's just nuts when you think about it like that.
Yeah.
I guess the power of being able to, write your own check. So, but no, I do think you're right. I do think all of those different things need to be something that they need to be very, very aware of. Because like I said, it just comes back to what was the conversation around Destiny when it came out. Like that game sold people don't know this. Destiny original D1 sold over 20 million copies And it didn't say because people want to just love Destiny. People was just excited for the next Bungie game. They were still living off the Halo IP. People loved the story and stuff that Halo had part of it. So when they looked at a game like Destiny coming, and I remember when they showed the first footage of it at E3 on Sony stage, people were like, yo, 4-player co-op, drop in, drop out. You got spider tanks you're fighting. It was like this whole grand event where it was a public event that they were fighting at and stuff. And people were excited for stuff like that. You just thought about, oh, this is going to be a huge world with a huge story.
Pause. I'm looking at this cutscene.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at this cutscene. What about this cutscene?
Does Ikora have a bald spot in the back of her head?
I don't know. I never really look at Ikora's head like that.
She got a bald spot. She going bald. I just saw it. No wonder she been shaving her head this whole time because she balding. Oh my god!
My god! Listen, that's your bae or something?
No, I'm just saying, like I thought
a warlock main or something. I
am a warlock main, but I don't know. What do you call? You can't call it male pattern baldness. What do you call it when I apologize to any women that are going bald. I feel I'm sorry for you guys. Maybe it is time to just cut it real close.
Shout out to Bungie and their cutscenes. They actually had more cutscenes in this one DLC than they had in all of Destiny together. It felt like.
Shout out for them having her have hair in this cutscene and not have hair with a character model in the actual game. But yeah,
they always do good with that though, where your in-game persona is portrayed inside the cutscenes, and I love when games do stuff like that. It shows that they have a very, very good grasp on like people's customization of their characters. That people want to see that stuff in game.
I'm being told by Kay to move on, so we can go ahead and move on. We can move on. Let's talk about since we're already talking about a Sony owned company. Let's talk about Sony and some unfortunate business with Sony that I think we probably gonna need to address now. Here at Damage Per Second Podcast, we are not afraid to tackle the difficult subjects. Your other podcasts out here may, and no shade to them, want to skip this topic because it's a very sensitive subject, but we also see
SloMo. I was hoping that screen didn't change because if you would have put that stuff on normal for the campaign run, we was gonna fight.
No, I've been said, like when this first came out, I said I've been playing the entire thing on Legendary.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I was looking because you was up there deciding. And I was like, what is he deciding? Just play on Legendary.
I don't know anything, so I had to read the descriptions of what was what. So I made my decision. Man, leave me alone anyway.
All right, move on. We tackle the hard and things that people don't want to talk about situation. Let's go.
Look. There have been some allegations that have come up in regards to, let's switch my screen over to this, in regards to sexual harassment and discrimination at Sony. And so this is, it's not necessarily gaming specific, but I do think we do need to discuss this because it does involve companies that deal, that make games, and these are people who work at these companies that make games. And we've discussed the issues at Ubisoft before. We've discussed the issues at Activision Blizzard before. And we're not going to shy away from discussing these issues that are apparently, allegedly, always got to say allegedly until things are, legally made true, occurring at Sony. So it says here that 8 former and current Sony Interactive Entertainment employees have accused the PlayStation maker of sexism, according to court documents filed Tuesday. Axios first reported the filings. Former security analyst Emma Mayo, okay, I'm gonna go with Mayo, filed a lawsuit against Sony for gender discrimination and wrongful termination in November 2021. Mayo, look, okay. Emma, we will call her Emma. Emma is seeking class action status to include other employees impacted by sexism at the company. Sony filed to dismiss the complaint, citing a lack of specifics that prove widespread intentional discrimination. On Tuesday, Emma's lawyer filed statements of support from 7 former PlayStation workers and 1 current and one current worker. One current employee. These women provided written statements of support detailing instances of sexism at the company and across multiple offices in the United States. The allegations described in these documents range from devaluing women's ideas and discrimination towards mothers. I think I've seen that before multiple times with these companies. Go ahead. I'll continue. To sexual harassment and systemic struggles for women to get promoted. Stephen Noel, Emma's lawyer, said in an adjacent statement that several other women feared retaliation from Sony and were too scared to speak up about what had occurred at the company. Marie Harrington, a former Sony Interactive senior director, left Sony in 2019 due to systemic sexism against females, which she reported throughout her career and outlined in 9 pages filed Tuesday. She pointed out instances where women were undervalued against men in calibration sessions. Where leadership highlighted high performers at the company. Okay, that's what those are supposed to be. In April 2019, Harrington said that 70 workers were being reviewed during a calibration session and only 4 were women. She also flagged an instance where she reported a man's bullying behavior to his manager. Can we address this before PlayStation has its own national news article? She wrote in the email attached to the filing. Harrington has also said men at Sony would rank female employees by their hotness. That sounds very, very high school, but we continue. And pass around filthy jokes and images of women. She also described an instance where an engineer asked her not to wear skirts to work because it was distracting him. Wow. Okay. And alleged that male engineers went to strip clubs during lunch and shared porn. In another incident, Harrington says she requested a private lactation room after having twins in 2015. She was required to use a storage room with a broken lock directly off the entrance lobby. What?
Excuse me? I said this. I said the same thing when I read that. What? You went in there?
Harrison wrote that she stopped breastfeeding early because it was not sustainable under those conditions. Other women provide similar examples in their statements. One former employee said she worked directly for 4 other women in her 5 years at Sony in the San Mateo and San Francisco offices. All of those women ended up leaving the company for similar reasons related to sexual discrimination, sexual harassment, and not being able to earn a promotion. She described instances where men made comments about women not understanding technology, and another time where a senior manager attempted to grab her breast at an offsite. Why?
Gropey grope.
I bet he still works there too.
Probably so.
Yeah. Right. A male senior manager was getting inappropriately close to me. He hugged me and whispered in my ear. I left and went to the bathroom and told some female coworkers. Soon after that, I transferred departments. Wow. Another former employee, Kara Johnson, who left in 2021, wrote a statement to leadership at Sony's Women at PlayStation group. What is up with... let me pause for a second. What is up with these names, right?
Yeah, like how Xbox
blacks at Xbox.
Or blacks at Xbox and women at PlayStation.
Y'all can't think of any kind of like actual like well thought out like names.
No, they gotta. It's got to be super generic, so there's no confusion on what it is.
I mean, like it's just like you know what do we really need a name for this? Whatever. Just women here at PlayStation. Just get it good. It just seems to be so lacking of original thought or any forethought,
creativity.
Whatsoever. Yeah, man. So it's as though a certain amount of attrition after PS5 launch was expected. The disproportionate number of women leaving has alarmed leadership. Oh, now leadership is alarmed. Okay. One woman called out a third-party investigation at Sony that uncovered a great imbalance in terms of employee distribution on her team. The alleged sexual harassment and sexism at Sony is not a problem unique to that company. In the past few years, the video game industry has been reckoning with pervasive sexism. Riot Games, the developer behind League of Legends, was ordered to pay $100 million to settle a class action lawsuit regarding gender discrimination at the company following a Kotaku report detailing widespread sexism. Activision Blizzard is facing multiple lawsuits regarding its alleged sexist culture too. At Ubisoft, makers of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the company is facing a great exodus of workers due to low pay, better opportunities, and frustration with the company's workplace misconduct allegations. And we here at DPS have talked about all of this at some point in time.
Sure have.
It says the reckoning is not limited to large studios. Either the 2021 Gone Home creator Steve Gaynor stepped down from his role as creative director on Open Roads after 10 women left during the game's development due to his alleged behavior. Polygon has reached out to Sony for comment, and we'll update the story should we hear back. They probably will not hear back. So
they're gonna put this under the carpet.
Well, I don't think they can. They're gonna have to address this at some point.
Address it, but it's not gonna be on the timetable that everybody else want.
Well, yeah, Sony they're gonna do it on their own terms when they're good and ready.
They're gonna do some interviews, fire some people. Say that we take this serious, and any accusation into like sexual harassment or anything like that is not tolerated at SIE. It is not a part of our culture, and we work hard to strive to make sure that we have a very safe work balance relationship between all our associates and people, where people feel like they could come to us or come to any leadership person on the stance of equality and stuff like that. Oh yeah, we already know what's gonna happen, SloMo. We know how this is gonna get written down. Just wait for, somebody at Sony is going to write it much better than I just said it. And you know what? Some people are going to take it and be like, okay.
So when do you think Sony will publicly address this or make any moves to actually correct this issue?
Well, this just happened. It's been going on for a minute now. It's just hitting, news. So the more and more people talk about it, probably it depends. It honestly depends on what kind of firestorm it really starts up. If we get to tomorrow and it's an even bigger story tomorrow, going into the weekend, it's a good chance that Sony could probably address it like on Monday or Tuesday, officially. That might be when they actually do it, because I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, depending on how much this news is like circulating. But I just mess around. But it's kind of crazy that this is like earlier today was like the first I've known of something like this, and nobody's really talking about it, because it reminds me of just Activision, the whole boys club thing, and pictures of them just in hotel rooms and talking about girls and all this other stuff and what they're going to do. And, women don't feel safe in the jobs that they have, or they feel like they're in fear of the repercussions if they was to come forward and say anything that they need to say, because some of these people really enjoy the jobs that they have, and to tell them that, oh, well, just leave and go somewhere else. Well, some people don't have that option. They like the job that they have. They just don't like the situation that they're in. And
right.
I think that's the thing that people kind of lose in this whole situation. Some people want to be at Naughty Dog or wherever these companies, they want to be there and they want to work there and they want to say that I helped make this and I love what I do. But then you have to deal with all of the extra external stuff or internal stuff that comes up inside of these meeting rooms, because guess what? People are people. That's why I don't put anything past anybody, because you think somebody and you really don't. And you think that these people at these jobs are really in it for you. I always tell people HR is not there for you.
No.
They are there to protect the company.
They are there to protect the company.
That's it.
That is their entire role. I've never seen an HR department actually. Look, they handle a lot of things in HR. They handle payroll. They handle your benefits and stuff like that. So they're great at that, and they put a lot of pride in that. But when it comes to dealing with this kind of stuff, when it comes to dealing with workplace issues, if you're lower on the totem pole than the person that you're complaining about, HR is not going to protect you. And it is has been a
unless it's cut and dry. Let's be for real. They will like. I don't want to give HR a bad rap and say that it wouldn't be that they wouldn't. Well, look, I know people that have been through situations with HR. The biggest thing, it just comes down to, all this stuff comes down to he said, she said stuff. The biggest problem is, can you prove it? And the biggest thing outside of that is, HR, like you just said, they're going to be there for the company. If you can be, honestly, it sucks, but if you could be replaced, they'll replace you before they have to try to replace somebody that is in a position where a lot of questions are going to be asked about why this person isn't there anymore, unless you have so much evidence against this person where they just have to make a move. And it would just be better for them just to come out and just say, we just don't, we don't support this and blah, blah, blah. All this other crazy stuff that could happen from stuff like that.
Let's keep it a buck. We've seen a lot of the stuff that we continue to see be persistent among all these different companies in the video game industry.
100%.
Is the cover up. Is the HR and upper leadership covering for people that they feel are invaluable as far as what they provide the company in regards to their expertise in making games or certain areas of games or music, game design, gameplay, whatever the reason is, being a director, these people they know they have a lot of weight in the company. And they know that they're going to protect them. And so it's when the first time something happens that was inappropriate and a woman went to HR to complain about it and nothing happened, that's the green light for the rest of them to continue to do what they do, knowing that the repercussions, at least they thought at that time, the repercussions for their actions would be basically just non-existent,
right?
And so this is why we're here. It's funny because and I think Rodimus brought it up in the chat. Didn't Sony condemn Activision for their issue?
Sure did. So everybody did. I think
that keeps happening too, because Bungie condemned. Who did they condemn? Ubisoft, I think
Ubisoft,
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And then a report came out that they had the same issues. It's funny because it seems like it's almost like if you know you got these kind of issues going on, why would you open your mouth? Because all you do is spur on the women who are dealing with the same issues at your company that are being reported elsewhere, and then you open your mouth like, we here at X Corporation wholeheartedly feel bad for these women being treated like this, and we condemn all forms of discrimination, sexual harassment. Oh wait, hold on a second. What's that? Tell her to get back in the kitchen and shut her mouth. It's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because you're no different than the rest of them. So it's just like, why even open your mouth, stupid? But good. You did open your mouth. You exposed yourself. Now you look like a bunch of hypocrites. So, I hope this stuff all gets exposed at some point, and we can actually get a little bit fair equality out here in this part of the tech industry, because it's not just like this here in the gaming industry. It's here in all forms of
entertainment or just jobs in general. When people throw shade at other people's at their situations and stuff, and they say, like you said about Ubisoft and everything like that, it's like, part of me, like, look, don't throw rocks at glass houses, because no one's house is 100% secure. There is something going on in everybody's job that you may or may not be aware of, because there's a lot of moving parts at these different workplaces and stuff. So to think that you're impervious to it is kind of, first of all, it's kind of short-sighted. I think there's always something going on inside of people's four walls that they just don't let get out. But in general, this is just another instance where we just got to look at it and say, Sony and all the rest of these other places just need to do better. They need to find a way to make it so people feel like they have a voice and a ray that they could come to them, because as of right now, it's just like, women in these different industries don't feel like they have like the cachet to come out and say what they need to say. My wife is a manager for one of the big three when it comes to cellular. And she's one of those people that it just comes off sometimes. You just don't know your place and stuff like that. You always got to look over your shoulder and feel like, am I being respected for the things that I'm doing and stuff? And that's just the norm for women like that, and it shouldn't be. And I just think that needs to really change, and hopefully it does. But we don't know when that's going to happen, though, SloMo.
Yeah, hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. And I think bringing light to these kind of situations only helps get us closer to those goals, if you ask me. But on a much lighter note, we can move on to third topic here about Gotham Knights. And so Gotham Knights is coming out in October. I think it was October 25th to be exact. Forte,
that's late. I'm definitely getting it because the co-op. It looks really
why
cool.
do you think that's late? I think that's fine. I mean, December is late.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I was just, because a lot of people were just expecting it to be like fall, like September. I mean, but it's only 1 month difference.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting this too. I've always liked ever since Rocksteady came out with the Arkham games, I've been all in on what the WB games division has been up to. And I mean, look, this is WB Montreal. This isn't Rocksteady. Rocksteady's doing the Suicide Squad game. I think the last game WB Montreal did was it Arkham Origins?
Origins was done by. It wasn't done by Rocksteady.
No, yeah. Origins.
Origin was the last. Origin was the last one, though. Yeah.
No. Arkham Knight was the last one. That was done by Rocksteady.
Was Arkham Knight the last one?
Okay, so look.
Yeah. You're right.
Then it was Arkham.
Arkham
City, which was my favorite.
Then it was Origin. Then it was Dark Knight.
Yes, and Origins.
Arkham Knight.
I think Origins was kind of buggy. I don't recall playing Origins. I may have skipped that one, but
it was not done by Rocksteady. That's why.
Right. And this Gotham Knights is being done by Eidos Montreal. Now, I wonder what they're struggling with, because this one that had already had delay. So I kind of wonder if maybe it's the co-op, because they haven't really done co-op like that before. So I wonder if that's kind of like, an issue for them. Either way, I'm interested in playing. I want to play as Nightwing or Red Hood. It's Red Hood, right?
Yeah, it's Red Hood.
And they got Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood. Like, that's just, I don't know, man. It's just something about that kind of gameplay, being able to play that with other people, just has my attention. So I'm looking forward to that one. It would not surprise me if it did not review well. Let me just say that. But I'm still probably going to give it a shot regardless.
What are you expecting from it?
I don't give a crap about reviews. We said.
So what are you expecting from the game?
I'm expecting Arkham Batman gameplay that Rocksteady has perfected with co-op, and hopefully a good story to go along with it. It's already going to be kind of like a little bit of a mess, because you got a game that's in like a DC game in Gotham with I assume Batman will show up, right? But
at some point, probably,
he'll just show up and just be talking or something. But like, there's no Batman to play as, and that's a little different. But I'm here for it. I'm here in case it turns out to be good. Erodimus in the chat says no Batman, no game. So I've heard that sentiment a number of different times.
It's a lot of people that said that. It's like, it's like, it's crazy. It's like, it's just like the Lego DC super villains game. A lot of people like the story of the game, but they just couldn't get with it because there was no Batman.
Right.
It's like, if you're gonna have a DC game, if you don't have Batman or you don't have Superman in it, it's like you're not really interested in it. I mean, I get it, but I feel like you're shortchanging yourself if you don't try it at least. Rodimus.
Rosaire wants to know which platforms it's coming out on, and I'm trying to double check. that right now. I think it is.
Isn't it next gen only? Is it next gen only?
I'm checking right now.
I know when they announced it, they didn't have any platform.
No, it is cross-platform. It will be on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So you can, just based off of that, you can kind of get an idea of what the game design is going to be like. Which is like, don't expect anything super innovative here, because innovation and all that kind of stuff isn't going to be really possible when you got to deal with old Jaguar CPUs that you gotta get this game playable on, and as usual, devs are loath to do very different gameplay mechanics or game design per platform. Like that happens every now and then. Like Shadow of Mordor did it, and Titanfall did it, but it really happens. So yeah, I'm here for it though. We'll see what happens.
He said Batman made Sifu better.
I don't really think. Look, I don't really think Sifu plays like Batman. I would hope that Sifu makes Batman better. Actually, I would hope that I would love to see a game like Sifu. Like, I would love to see SloClap, the developer of Sifu, get their hands on like a big name IP, like do like a Moon Knight game, or something like that, or a Shang-Chi game with that same game design that they have. That would be great. Or Mortal Kombat. I don't know. Just something a little different that because that game's fire, and I can just imagine it with like a big name IP. That would be really awesome. Anyway,
I think that would be that'd be really cool. I have another question for you, SloMo.
What's up?
Watching your gameplay, which is amazing.
Thank you.
You do realize that there are shield variants in this game, and when you're shooting something with a solar weapon against an arc shield, it takes longer.
I do know that. Yes. I've been known that. That's the way it's been since Destiny 1.
I know. I'm just wondering if you just don't care.
I just don't care. You hit it right on the nail. Am I going to go hide behind cover, go into my menu, change my weapon to find? No, I'm not. No, I'm just going to keep shooting until he finally dies.
Until his shield drops after 3 magazines.
Yep, I'm just going to keep shooting.
Oh man, I guess those ammo changes where they made all kinetic weapons have unlimited ammo definitely helped you out. Oh man, but no, this is good. I'm looking forward to the game because of the co-op and from when they showed it off the first time. They didn't show off any. Yeah, they didn't show off any gameplay back then, but it was
they showed
they showed something. It was like a mixture. The first time
they showed the game, they showed like a whole mission. It was like it was like Robin and Batgirl.
I think I only saw the trailer where they showed them like on the rooftops and stuff. Yeah. I forget the initial one. I haven't looked at any because it's just been so crazy. I haven't looked at any of the gameplay. If I would have had more time
today, I would have had the gameplay that they showed.
Oh no, I mean I didn't even need to see the gameplay.
It's been so long. Like that probably isn't really like. Cause like I kind of thought like felt like the boss battle that they showed at the end was very blah. Like it was just very like generic boss fight, very formulaic, and I was just like, I was really like enjoying what I was seeing up until then. Kind of hope they kind of like make the boss fights a bit more complex than that, because it seemed really basic. But I don't know. We'll see.
Shout out to DJ Oris with the hashtag friends. Love you too, DJ. Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to him. Let's discuss a game that's dear to both of our hearts, Halo Infinite.
When the last time you played it?
About 3 weeks ago.
It's been about a month for me.
Oh man, look, man, it's been a while. It's been a while, man, and it's been a while because there ain't nothing to do. I have maxed out my battle pass. So what? I mean, like I could play the game for real and just play the play, but like I mean, at this point, I kind of want to just play with, like, if I'm gonna play with people that, you know, friends and stuff, like I'm enjoying myself playing the game. But everyone else is playing Elden Ring or Destiny or you know, Horizon, and it's just who there's no one to play with. And so, man, let's just get into it. Okay, so first of all, Halo's multiplayer director has left, so he's left the company. And yes, it's cute. Let's cue all the people leave game studios all the time. SloMo. Yes, this is true. He kind of left at a time where it's just like, is this really the you know, like if you're making a personal decision, I don't feel like being here right now, kind of thing, right? Or like, I'm gonna move on and try new experiences, kind of thing. I understand that. I get it. You know, like I understand people wanting to try new things and don't want to feel like that they're not learning anything new. They're not growing as an employee. Like, that's very important to a lot of people. I get it. That said, I mean, you drop multiplayer pretty bare bones here. Not a lot of modes in there. Still not a lot of modes in there. Don't have a lot of maps. You don't got Forge there, so you don't have the community creating content that you can then verify and say, okay, this is a really good map. Let's add this part of the permanent rotation kind of stuff. Like, actually have the community work for you. You don't have that. I'm not going to knock him for what's going on the co-op campaign side of things, because that's not his purview. But look, I mean, the game's rock solid as far as gameplay goes. I enjoy playing the game. It's the best playing Halo that 343's ever done. That's it. You are not quite there yet when it comes to getting the game in a great state. I would never want to leave a company and I left the job undone. You know, like, there's something that I was working on that I was, you know, in charge of, and I didn't get it done. Unless I just can't take it no more. And what was going on there is just an untenable situation for me. You know, I'm not assuming that's what's going on with him. I'm just speaking personally from my experience. But it's interesting, man. Let's talk about the multiplayer director first, then we can talk about, like, what they updated us about what's coming in season 2. So, like, first, Forte, what do you think about the multiplayer director leaving?
People leave SloMo. People leave jobs all the time.
No, you didn't.
It happens. It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because it's not the right time for you to leave. You should understand that, you know, people are going to definitely be looking at this as a scenario like, yeah, we understand that you might want to move on to do some other stuff, but we already know that. Well, you should already know that a lot of people are going to be like, yo, there's something wrong with this game.
And, like how my head is stuck in the ceiling right there.
You look like mistletoe right now.
Mistletoe, all right. I got the Christmas colors on.
You got the Christmas colors on and everything. But no, listen, is it a big deal? It could be. We really don't know, because we don't know what his overall function of the studio really was when it comes to, like, how big that studio is. It could be like 3 or 4 different directors they have on the multiplayer for to an extent, but it just doesn't look good because right now the game is, like you said, bare bones when it comes to, like, the offerings. People are not playing the game nowhere near as much as they were playing, and let's be fair, games always do have a massive drop off after the initial offerings when the game first does launch, so that is definitely a thing. But the game hasn't recovered at all with any of these different things that they add. They have the tactical ops that just came out. And SloMo, have you recently looked at the Steam numbers for the game? Because, you know, Xbox
not looking too good.
It's for like a brand 10K. For a new, you know, offering to come out like that. I mean, it's just a game mode or just a enhanced version of a game mode that they just added some more customization to. People aren't jumping back in to play the game like that, and I don't find myself even interested to go in. Like, I didn't even finish my battle pass yet. I'm at 87 on it. I didn't care about the Tamrai event. That was like, I was like, who cares?
I didn't finish that either.
I ain't finished it. I know. Shout out to the Ash and Luca. You know, she went in there and made sure she got all her stuff. She said they're gonna give me everything that I want.
Correction. They're at 14K. They're at 14K.
Oh, they're at 14K now. Okay, good. Well, that's at least up a little bit. So, but I just don't see a reason to jump in there. And I mean, I guess the thing is, do you already have a multiplayer fix? If you have a multiplayer fix already in your life, then do you really need a game like Halo to do that for you? It would be nice for the game to like function the way it needs to function out of the gate, you know, co-op to be there and multiplayer to have more than just a couple of game modes that we can jump in and play and stuff and actually have a more robust experience than what we've been having. I think that is what most people want to have, but people are playing other stuff now. And, you know, we said this when we heard that the game was coming out in December. It's going to be really, really good out the gate. It's going to do really, really well over December, probably pretty decent over January. But what's going to happen in February?
Right.
What's those numbers going to look like in February?
Right. And
what they going to look like in March?
Everything that we said what should have been a concern has kind of come true. Here we are, and it's like we said, hey, look, it's great right now. Everyone's loving it. It's awesome. It plays well. But there's a lack of content here. And what's going to happen is that other games come out. If you have a lack of content, if you have a lack of ways to keep people engaged, people are going to start playing other games. And then they're going to say what you claim and I'm doing with Horizon Forbidden West. I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to come back. I'm just playing this right now. And then that they never come back. And it's mostly usually because you didn't give them a reason to come back.
Right.
And so since we kind of already talking about that, let's kind of roll into what the season 2 is going to provide. So Halo Infinite season 2 is called Lone Wolves. That's the theme of it. They got a new mode that's going to be in there. I can't remember the name of the mode. I think they also said King of the Hill is going to be in there. I should pull up the blog.
Oh my God! Finally.
Right. Finally. Right. What else? Only 2 new maps, a map for Big Team Battle and a map for Arena.
Does Big Team Battle work?
Big Team Battle does work now, finally, after a month.
Oh, okay. So you can go with more than just 2 people.
Right,
okay, got
right. What else? So co-op. Which, as I freaking said was going to happen. And this was the argument people gave me when it came to co-op. And I said that like Halo Infinite not having co-op at launch is unacceptable because every Halo has had co-op in some shape or form at launch. Every single one of them. It's an integral part of the gameplay experience. I don't care if you don't play single person, don't play co-op. Other people do. And to say that, but because I don't play, it's not important, that's not true because you aren't everybody. So there's that. And then the argument that I kept being presented with was, well, SloMo, they said it's going to come in 3 months. Calm the freak down. What are you whining about? You're going to get it in 3 months. Just be patient. Well, it's 3 months. Actually, more than 3 months. It's now 4 months. Forte, do we have co-op? Forte?
I'm here. I was trying to think of a sly way of answering your question, but no, we don't.
No, we don't have co-op. So what I said was going to happen, which was, why would you trust 343 to keep this timetable when they've kept none? Anything that they said was going to happen has always ended up being, whoopsie, sorry, that's not going to be it right now. Whoopsie, sorry, we're not going to have that ready. Whoopsie, sorry. How many freaking times are they going to do this where before you actually realize that what they're saying is just really just placating you? They're saying sometime in season 2, not the launch of season 2, but sometime in season 2, they're going to have campaign co-op ready. Okay, we'll see about that. They said Forge is going to be season 3. Okay, we'll see about that.
They haven't even told us how long the season's going to be yet.
Oh, well, it's supposed to be 3 months. They're supposed to be 3 months, but they could extend season 2 6 months like they did season 1, which I really hope that's not the case. That would be really, really bad if they did that.
Right, it would be.
Yeah, they need more maps. They need more modes. So I don't know. Look, I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that they do keep the timetables, but I'm being realistic here,
So SloMo, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What did when Microsoft announced back in, what was it, June, or I think it was either June or July of last year, the release date of Halo, and they said it was coming out in December or this holiday. What did I say? What did I say, SloMo? See if you remember.
It should have been delayed.
Oh, I said, when did I say this game?
That's what I said.
When did I say this game? How long have I been saying that this game, when they delayed it the first time, what did I say? Didn't I say, SloMo, that this game don't need to come out in a year? I said this game ain't gonna be ready in 1 year.
Yeah,
there's no way
you did
this
say
game's gonna be ready.
You did
no
say
way.
That.
I was like,
shout out to the Ashley Lugo, the $5 super chat. She just gives us the eyes emojis.
The eyes, lips, and mouth.
Right,
Let's go.
Yep. We know what that means.
Yeah, we know. We definitely know what that means.
Go ahead and continue, man.
No, but it's just crazy because it's like so many people just don't understand that it's more. I mean, I understand gaming is a selfish hobby, but my whole reason for saying that the game shouldn't have came out this year, or that the game didn't need, it was so much stuff that needed to happen with the game before they actually thought about releasing this, is the fact that we don't want to see Halo being shown in such a light where people are like looking down on the franchise and stuff. It's like, it's at a point now where it's like, it's an afterthought. Like, people, you got people that still love and enjoy Halo, but it's not at the clip where it used to be at. And maybe it's just because Halo. I got a question
for you. Do you think there's a little bit less smoke for Halo Infinite due to the fact that as bad as things are for it right now, that Battlefield 2042 and Call of Duty Vanguard actually look worse?
Oh yeah, easily. I mean, you can actually play. You can at least play Halo Infinite,
right? I mean, so I think that has kind of, the fact that you can point to much worse situations has kind of allowed 343 to kind of fly under the radar a little bit there, where with some of the smoke that I think is justifiable for them. But go ahead.
But I also think it has something to do with the fact that a lot of people are just playing a bunch of other stuff. If we were in the middle of a drought where Halo was like one of the few games that were out that was playable, and then you could have a conversation and people could just bring up the fact that, oh, where's all the people playing Halo at now? People aren't really thinking about that because they're just playing games. I mean, you got some people out there talking about the numbers of Halo being in decline and stuff like that, but for the most part, everybody's enjoying other games right now, and that's probably helping it out too, not be like in the limelight like a lot of people think it probably should be. I just think that the fact that I think they said, what is it, May 3rd is when season 2 is going to launch. It's just crazy to me May 3rd. So it's just crazy to me to just think that we are so far away from where this game needs to be, not just in, a feature set, but in a polished set. Like, until they get campaign in this game ain't feature complete. It's nowhere near.
You mean campaign
it's
co-op?
Yeah, until they get the campaign.
It's an incomplete game. Yeah, it's an incomplete game. It's nowhere near ready. We've been asked in the chat to talk about the development process, the cycle, since we're bragging about it should be delayed. We're not bragging about a delay. That would mean that we are like celebrating a game not getting what it should have already had. No. We're not bragging about that.
Nobody's
but what I
about
will do is, when people came at me with some illogical arguments and I told them this would happen, I am that petty. I will tell you, I told you this was going to happen, so that I remind you of this, so that next time you try to come out talking halfway out your mouth with some foolishness, I can remind you again about the other time that you said something silly and I told you the truth and you didn't believe me.
Right.
Because what actually is weird, because the people who defend this don't play the game anymore, don't intend on playing the game anymore, and really don't care about Halo. And the people who are actually upset about the state of the game, about how it came out, about the lack of content, are the Halo fans.
That's true.
So imagine the non-Halo fan telling the Halo fan, hey man, what you mad about? It should have been delayed. I got what I wanted. I played it for a couple of weeks.
Rodimus, stop it, Rodimus. It's a live game which is never finished.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I will give you that in live scenarios, games are always evolving. But the fact that co-op is not there is a feature of the game.
No, hold on, pause. That comment justified, like, at this point now, I'm not saying anything that is said in the chat unless it's in color. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I do not want to hear about it's a live service game, so it's justified that features are not there. No, that's not how this works. We're not going to. People don't like that about live service games now. We're not going to make it a feature of live service games that content isn't there. No, that's just no. That excuse should never fly.
Yeah,
the publishers try to say that to get away with the foolishness of them not having content. We're not going to justify that as gamers in the community. None of us work for 343 or Microsoft. No, none of us need to get them kind of nonsense excuses. We're gonna move on. Moving on, I do intend on playing the game more as soon as I get at least some games off my docket. Like because my multiplayer game of choice right now is I'm back on Rogue Company, which just came out with a new season. Like I said, got the Rambo skin. They coming up with new content, new rogues, new maps. There's 24 rogues in the game now. I'm having a great time with Rogue Company. The game is quote unquote dead because it doesn't even have as many people in it as Halo Infinite does, but it's got a solid community and I'm having fun with that. So I will add Halo Infinite back to my rotation of multiplayer games to play once I actually get.
Shout out to Rodimus with the $10 super chat, screaming to the room. It's a live service game, SloMo. Shout out to Rodimus. Look, man, we love you, bro. But listen, and then you got Big Mo, and then you got Big Mo out here saying, I stand with Rodimus. Y'all out here crazy, man.
Oh my God. All right. Shout out to Rodimus for the super chat. Okay.
I can't with y'all.
I will once again say what I said, that just because it's a live service game does not justify lack of content. Okay, like the reason why you make a game live service and you make it free to play like the multiplayer is that you're supposed to draw people in with the fact that they don't have to spend any money up front, with the hopes that like they're so smitten with the game, that they're so hooked on the game that they'll spend money on the back end because they can't stop playing it. But the only way you're going to get them to do that is if you have content, fresh content that keeps them engaged to do that. Apex Legends doesn't have this problem. Fortnite doesn't have this problem. But Halo Infinite does. So it's like it's different. And if you want to bring up live service games, we'll talk about live service games, and they're doing it better than 343 right now. Now, why they're doing it better? Hey, it could be an engine issue. Maybe Slipspace engine isn't up to snuff. Maybe it's like Frostbite, where it takes developers way too long to troubleshoot issues. We saw that they had a very big problem fixing Big Team Battle. Took them an entire month.
Right.
It takes too long to develop new content, which has been another staple of Frostbite. And so far, when it comes to new content, is this the least amount of maps a Halo game has launched with up to this point?
Yeah.
So
I think so.
What do you? We want to talk about live service games. Live service games over time provide more content.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's it at? I don't know what the content is, man.
No, it's there. I guess it's there. But listen, I don't want to blame as much as we're talking about is 343 this, 343 that. I don't even really blame 343 for this. I usually blame 343 for a lot of stuff. I don't blame them for this. I felt like they were set up to be doomed to fail when Microsoft put a date on this game. The moment Microsoft said this game is coming out in 2021, and we wanted to be part of the 20-year anniversary, which I get. They wanted to be out, launch with the. They wanted to launch it with the new Xbox. That didn't happen, but they didn't want to miss the 20-year anniversary of Halo. Get it 100%. But the moment Microsoft made that decision and said that game is coming out, no matter what, 343 was behind the 8 ball. So I don't even blame them for this. I blame Microsoft for putting them in a position where they have to live up to a promise that they probably were not even in a position to even, live up to. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. Unfortunately, we have to live with that now, or they have to live with it. Some gamers will live with it, but most people are probably just going to find something else to play until the game is at a point where they can actually enjoy it. But I know a lot of people that just refuse to play the game at this point now. They like, man, the game, I waited and waited and waited, and they're pushing stuff back, and it's like when I bought this game, or I want to buy this game or play this game to experience it with my friends and stuff. And at a certain point, people just get tired of just waiting. And, we always talk about how Xbox in general made us all wait forever in order to get to a point where we feel like the games are coming. For their number one flagship game to not be in a finished state is irreparable at this point. So, I mean, people can say what they want to say, but it all started when Microsoft put that date on there last year, and 343 is paying for it, and people don't know how to kind of separate that, unfortunately.
Very true. Let's go ahead and move on, because we have more content to provide you guys on this podcast, unlike 343.
Shout out. Okay, you being real messy now. Shout out to you guys. I like the energy you guys bring. You guys know that we love games through and through. We love Halo. I put over 70 hours in the game, but
I got 83 hours in the game.
And I'll go back and play it when there's something in there for me to go in there and play. Unfortunately, but we just need more. Unfortunately, that's what we need.
If they came up with a new map,
I'll be in there
tomorrow. I'll be there. I'd be there playing it. That's fact. But anyway, let's move on to State of Play. Yeah, State of Play yesterday. It was only 20 minutes. It did not have a ton of content. They did manage expectations fairly well. They told people up front, they said we're going to be featuring games from our Japanese partners, publishers.
Mm-hmm.
That of course, some of us out here, put on our tinfoil hats and started thinking that they were going to announce if they acquired a publisher or something. Shout out to Everborn with the foolishness. But no, they just basically wanted to feature some games that were fairly new, hadn't been seen before, that were coming from Japanese developers and publishers. And I actually was pretty excited for what I saw. Pleasantly surprised about what I saw. The first game we see actually here right now on the screen is Exo Primal, being developed by Capcom. It's a cross-generational console. It looks like a console exclusive. They said PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. But it's probably timed. It's probably a timed exclusive. So if anything, it'll probably show up on Xbox at some point, and hopefully PC. Because didn't Capcom say they were going to make PC a focus?
They did say that.
So it's probably Sony has no obligation to even mention PC when they do this kind of stuff, which is also fine as well. But Forte, what did you think about Exo Primal?
So, the first thing I thought about is this their version of the dinosaur game that Xbox had?
Yeah.
Version. It actually looked. You know what? And that game looked pretty interesting too until it got on Game Pass and we played it. It was like, yo, this is horrible.
Okay, wait, correction. This is not an exclusive. It says Exo Primal will be available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC via Steam in 2023. So
okay.
correction, it will be coming out on all platforms. Just that the state of play, they got zero reason to say it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah, they got zero reason. But no, it looks really cool. I'll say the same thing. What was the one for Xbox? What was the Prime Extinction or something or what? I forget what it was called. But it looks really cool. I like the aesthetic. It looks more modern when it comes to the type of visuals and stuff that, you know, I expect that from when you put it on stage at Sony. You're going to probably get a visual showcase. I think it looks good in that regard, but I don't know, man. It's a game that you have probably got to pay for, and you know how we are now. You know, we don't like buying games no more, SloMo. So
no, I got no problem buying games. If I'm interested in it,
I'm talking to. I don't have a problem buying games either, but no, I think it looks really, really cool. It was one of the few games. Well, I gonna say few games. It was one of a couple games that I saw at the show that I was like, okay, this looks actually pretty cool. And I think the 4-player co-op aspect, or however many co-op aspect of it, is going to be really, really cool too, because I think that's going to be the new thing. We're getting back to playing with your friends in these type of games, and that's the thing that I like the most about them.
Yeah, I did like that. It seemed like they actually featured different classes. Like there was like, here is the class that's like a tank with a shield. Here's the class that seems more nimble with dual swords. That's the one I'm gonna go with because I love kind of be like a ninja like that. And here are other classes that kind of do other things. Like your soldier class with like a lot of guns. Like I'm looking at it. I'm seeing just like all the different ways that you would actually coordinate attacks with your friends and come up with strategies to deal with like these horde of dinosaurs coming at you. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to that one next year. Also, they showed once again Ghostwire Tokyo being developed by Tango Gameworks, which is Bethesda, which is Xbox technically, although timed exclusive to PlayStation.
Technically, it is Xbox.
Yeah, but I mean, they got it's Xbox, but still,
it's gonna be a Game Pass in a year or however long this deal is.
That's coming out this month.
Yeah, this one finally.
I gotta say. Well, hold on. Let's do the super chat real quick, and I'll talk about my feelings on Ghostwire Tokyo. Shout out to Percolator with a $10 super chat. He says, question: I understand the content part, but what happened to just jumping in, just play the game because Halo 3 didn't have quote unquote content and people played 24/7 was happy, or is it just me? It's not just you. It's not just you.
Not you. I can answer that question too.
Yeah, I would say things have changed. Way more games come out now than it did back then, and when you don't have stuff that interests you to play, then you'll keep playing the same things. Well, that remains consistent for people who don't have an interest in any other games right now. They just play the games that they enjoy, and they keep playing those games even though other stuff comes out. But if you're interested in other stuff, when you got more games coming out, there's higher chances that you'll be interested in these other games that are coming out, and therefore those things will take your attention.
Yeah.
Elden Ring has my attention right now. Horizon Forbidden West has my attention right now. Halo Infinite doesn't have my attention because at some point, although I was having fun playing multiplayer with my friends, I started playing other stuff, and my friends are playing other stuff, and none of us have the time to play Halo Infinite right now. And if they had content that was new that I wanted to try and I can get back into it and keep playing the game, then that would be different. We don't have that right now. And so the longer they delay providing that kind of content. Look, I got personal friends that I used to play Halo with all the time back in the day. Back on the original Xbox, all night long. Just just multiplayer sessions on Xbox, Halo Combat Evolved. All of them are not as big gamers as they used to be, but every time that Halo comes out, we get back together, we run through the campaign on Legendary. They have not played Halo Infinite. A couple of them have played the multiplayer. They have not played the game at all because they're waiting for the co-op. The longer you delay that, I can really see some of them being like, man, I don't know, man. I'll play. I'm playing something else right now. Like, the longer you delay to actually getting that content out to people, the more likely they're going to be too interested in other newer stuff that came out and actually provided content at launch for them.
Yeah, I think you make a really, really good point, and I agree with you. I think I can only speak, like, we can only speak for ourselves, so I can only speak for me. I predominantly love the multiplayer in Halo. I didn't beat it right away. I didn't beat it until the middle of January when it came to the single player. And once I beat the single player, I jumped into multiplayer, played a bunch of that, and it was cool. But there was a downtime in the game that I prefer playing because I always tell people, and I will always die on that hill, that I feel like Destiny is the evolution to what Halo should have been, like a faster version of the game. And I think they did a really good job in speeding up the gameplay of what Halo used to be to what it is now without compromising the essence of Halo. So I think they did a really, really good job in the gameplay department. It's just the fact that the campaign I loved, but there's nothing else there for me to do right now. I unlocked everything in the single player, all the forward bases, did all the different side missions, did all of the high value HVTs and everything. I did everything, put over 30, almost close to 40 hours into the campaign, just messing around in that. And then put another 40, 50 hours, 60 hours into the multiplayer. And it's just nothing else for me to do. The stuff that they have doesn't draw me to keep playing the game. And I do think SloMo made a great point. Back in 2007, when you jumped on Halo, everybody was on Halo. It's just like right now you see people playing Elden Ring that don't even like games like Elden Ring, but they see all their friends doing it. It's like this whole synergistic feeling right now where people are just eating off of what their friends are telling them, and they're enjoying those games because it's an excitement around that type of stuff. And when you don't have an excitement around a game, it kind of just be like, okay, I could just play that whenever. And I do think that's kind of the gift and the curse of Game Pass. Let's be for real. The fact that a lot of people are playing it in Game Pass, you don't really feel like you have to like live and die and just continue to keep paying that game because you didn't pay money for it. You know it's always going to be there, especially with it being a first party title. You know it's not going anywhere. So if you want to go in and play Halo 6 months from now or even 2 years from now, that game will always be a part of that service compared to games that you actually bought and you paid for, like Elden Ring. People are taking their time and experiencing those games right now because there's an invested interest in it and an investment and just a monetary investment into it on top of that. So I do think that's the other side of Game Pass that people don't really kind of think about. You know, you don't really feel like you have to do something because it's in that service. You can experience it at your own leisure versus other things, you know, you want to jump in and experience them day one because everybody's talking about it. So Halo this isn't just Halo. This is everything. You know, Destiny went through this. SloMo can name multiple games that go through. The Division went through this. One of his favorite games went through this. It's just the up and down.
The Division didn't have a content issue. Division had a balancing issue because they had other problems. It took them a long time to get it fixed because they were very new to doing a looter, doing a game that had to like balance PvE content and PvP content and not have one break the other. And it took them probably a good 6 months after launch to get that done. But like they had lost 90% of their community that was there at launch by the time they got it figured out. And I think it was update 1.4 that they finally got the Division in a great spot. And that 90% that they lost never came back. They were done. And I still see people today talk about how, you know, they really enjoyed Division in the beginning and then the game just fell off and they never gave Division 2 a shot. which I think probably contributed to Ubisoft coming out and saying Division 2 was a sales disappointment. And that's right. And that all comes back to the impression that people have when they leave your game. When they leave your game dissatisfied, they're not coming back. Like, they're not. Like, even you could fix the game. It could be great. I felt like Division 1 in the end, before they switched over to Division 2, absolutely awesome. Great content all across the board. Amazing. How many people how many people who bought the game at launch know that? Less than 5%. And so I don't want that to be Halo. I don't want Halo 3 years from now to be basically Sea of Thieves. Well, Sea of Thieves has its own dedicated community, but a lot of people gave Sea of Thieves a shot at launch. They just like, man, I'm not collecting chickens. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing this. There's nothing to do here. And then they just drop the game and never come back. But if they actually played a Sea of Thieves that had even half the content that it has now and had that at launch, they may still be playing it today. And I know this isn't a Halo Infinite issue. This is more of a industry-wide issue where these publishers kind of feel like it's okay to give us unfinished games and then just provide. And I'm not even joking. This is things that have been verified, that have been said from publishers internally, as you know, these issue has a game has turned into. And then you find out from like a Jason Schreier report that internally they knew the game was going to be unfinished, but they kind of felt like maybe people would just deal with it until they actually got the content in. Yeah, they do that to us, and they plan it like that.
Continuing with that, I do want it's a couple of things that some people said in the chat. So Firestar says, I'm hoping that they add a PvE element. And I think that's going to be huge. Outside of co-op, just continue. Like, we always talked about how fast is it going to take them to continue this story? Because that would get me back in there instantly. Because I really, as much as I felt like they tried to rewrite some of Halo inside of Halo Infinite when it came to like, basically saying Halo 4 and Halo 5 kind of didn't exist with the way that they're telling the story.
I mean, they acknowledge they exist.
They acknowledge they exist.
They minimized it to the point where everything that happened in those games wasn't all that important.
Wasn't important, exactly.
Yeah. But no, like, I don't want to like harp on the topic that we just finished.
Yeah.
But I think we all want the best for the game. And there are, I think, justifiable frustrations from people who see that the game isn't getting what they want from it, not providing them what they want from it, and don't really see any reason to trust what 343 is saying about their timetable for certain things. Where's the roadmap? You know, like, if you're doing a live service game, every live service game has a roadmap. Where's their roadmap at? We make assumptions because it's a live service game that they're going to provide more PvE content for us to get engaged in. But have they actually said they're going to be adding more content towards the campaign anytime soon? We have yet to hear that from them at all. So, like, until we hear some of these things, like, I think they deserve the smoke that they get. If you're not going to do that, if you're just going to do like a big full-on campaign that's going to come in 3 or 4 years to continue on top of Halo Infinite, say that. Let people know that's what it is. That you're not going to do what Destiny and other live service games of this ilk do, where they give you annual content that is not, you know, that you can consume on, you know, on a consistent basis. If you're not doing that, let us know.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add, the last thing, because we're going to move on from this, Percolator, and I definitely want to answer his question because he has a point. He says, okay, I get it. Just look at it by just joining friends and just playing matches. But thanks for answering. But I'll tell you this. The problem for me, and I know for SloMo, you're absolutely right. When our friends were playing that game, we were always on it. Like when Luca was playing it, when Taz was playing, when SloMo was playing, we consistently jumped on and we played with each other all the time. Pause. But the biggest thing I will tell you, Perk, if you want to keep that going, because I don't really, engage with Halo like that unless it's something new in the game that I just want to play. set stuff up. Like, I don't mind jumping in there playing with my friend, playing with people like you guys in the community if there's a reason to jump over there and play it, because I don't know who's playing Halo. Like, I don't really look at my friends list to see what people are actually doing.
I know. Shout out to One Bad Mother. One Bad Mother is still playing it. I know he still plays the game. Me and him have tried to link up. Our schedules are so off.
Yeah,
it's just like we never can seem to get it right. But it's like, when there's so few people that you know who are playing the game, then like that's where you're going to end up, where you're kind of relying on a very small number of people to play the game with. And if you're like I said, your schedules aren't very much in sync, then you're going to end up not playing the game very often.
Yeah, but that's it. Just, let us know when you guys are interested in playing. We always want to play games with you. The SloMo's always down to play. I'll definitely jump in and play with you guys because I like the game. It's just I find other games more interesting. If I'm going to spend time playing something, I'm going to play something I want to play. But if the community says, and people that support us say they want to play games with us, I'll definitely do that just to enjoy the game with you guys. And it's not that we don't enjoy Halo, it's just not the first thing that comes to light for us with the space that the game is sitting in right now. But let us know when y'all want to play, and we'll definitely play.
All right, so back to Ghostwire Tokyo and State of Play.
Trash.
Ghostwire Tokyo is trash?
No, it's not trash. It actually looks pretty good. I ain't gonna say good. It looks interesting.
It's more action oriented than
I thought it would be.
But yeah, look, I've never played the Evil Within. I don't play them horror games. Come on now, right?
I don't know why you're such a punk.
Why I gotta be a punk? I'm not interested in listening to all kinds of freaky stuff in the background.
You never watch movies like Hellraiser and stuff like that?
I have no problem with horror movies. I got all the problems with horror games.
Why? Just because of the input method?
Yes, because I'm the one that needs to go walk up the stairs like a dummy when the killer's behind you. I'm the one that gotta do all that stuff. Well, I could just be watching, the screen and be like, "Oh, you stupid," but like instead, I gotta be the stupid one. There's like a monster behind the door, but you gotta go because the game designed you to go behind that door anyway. It's just like, come on, man. Anyway, look, this seems more action oriented than their previous Evil Within games. I do like the way the combat looks. That said, I'm just not like, the story seems like I've watched the trailers that seem to be explaining a lot. The story is all over the place. I don't know what's going on. I'm probably it's not a priority for me. Plus, it comes out like either on the day or the day after Tiny Tina Wonderland, and so no, I can already tell you
why I'm not gonna play it.
Why?
Because a game that we're gonna talk about on this list later that is having an update come to it where it's gonna make me want to finally go in and play it.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So the next thing they showed was Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. They say the demo is available to play right now. So if you have a PlayStation, you can play that demo right now.
Pretty cool.
I played the alpha. I think this was the alpha that I played. I didn't really care for it. I thought, and of course, I thought gameplay was a bit rough, but things could have improved since then. I'm not interested in this one. What about you?
It looks cool. Final Fantasy has completely went 3-dimensional with their combat styles, and a lot of people I have a lot of people that came and pre-ordered this game that's really super excited for it. I did download the demo on my PS5 just to see what it's like. I haven't got a chance to get into it, but Final Fantasy is one of my favorite franchises when it comes to JRPGs and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be something I'll play day one, but it is something that I would definitely get into. I'm more excited for Triangle Strategy because I love tactics type games and stuff like that. And that just recently came out a week ago.
So you're probably going to like a game that we're going to talk about real soon that was shown at the show too as well.
Yep. Okay. You already know. Go ahead and keep on going.
All right. So moving on, Forspoken was shown, even though they announced earlier this week that it has been delayed to October. Forspoken. I mean, look, the trailer looked nice. Visually, it looks like a little bit more improved with the character models. Because like the last time they showed it, I know some people were complaining about the way Frey. I'm sorry, Frey. That's the name of the main character. And some of the other character models looked. You know, this is my thoughts on it. I'm glad it got delayed because the way that gameplay looked, that gameplay that leaked, that 7 minutes of gameplay, I was like, bruh, this is not it. So I was a little disappointed with that. If they gotta take even more time, like, I will never complain about delays. I not saying I root for delays, but what I root for is a game being ready at launch, and this is no different than Halo Infinite. If the game ain't ready, don't release it. Please don't release it.
Right.
Make sure it's ready to go at launch, and if they gotta go beyond October and go into 2023, so be it. What about you, man?
No, I was very interested in this game, but like you said, that 7-minute demo they put out a while ago looked rough, and this didn't look too much better. They definitely need to do a little bit more polishing. Do you think it's just the visuals of the game that's kind of throwing you off a little bit?
There was a fight at the end of that gameplay where it's like Frey's fighting like a mob of enemies, and like I don't know if it was the person playing the game just sucked, but it looked really bad. Yeah, it looked like the gameplay. It looked like gameplay I did not want to engage with, and maybe it was because by looking at the teaser trailer back when it was Project Athea to some of the other like snippets of gameplay, you know how they make trailers, like they really get somebody to really like cut footage up to make it look like it's the most amazing thing you ever seen.
Like Halo, like Halo's original multiplayer reveal that you said wasn't gameplay.
Right, exactly, just like that, just like that.
I know what you mean.
So, but like you even did it with this trailer where they kind of like cut parts where it looks really dynamic and a lot of fluid movement. That's what I thought the gameplay was, like her kind of parkouring and bouncing around this huge map. And look, and it's the same team, Lumina Studios, that did Final Fantasy 15, which I hated. Final Fantasy 15, it's probably my worst Final Fantasy, but I thought the gameplay was pretty interesting, a nice concept that could have been expanded upon, and that's what I thought we were getting with this, and that was very fast flowing, free flowing, and that gameplay didn't look like that. Now it could have, like I said, could have very well been the person playing the game was just trash.
That does happen.
That happens, but maybe that's why they had IGN take the gameplay down, because it wasn't showing the game in its best light. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that in October it's ready to go and it's going to be an awesome time, but I'm still skeptical until then.
Yeah, same. I think as much time as they can give it. It's performance games. The thing about this, until you get the game in your hands, it's like, what's the performance going to be like? And that's the one thing I'm kind of worried about with this game. It almost comes off to like, it almost seems like you want to play this on PC, but who knows, man?
It looks PC. I'm playing this on PC.
Yeah, the game looks so interesting though, but it's just that your first impression was not the best impression.
Yeah, and plus, like, some of the dialogue seemed very like CW-ish to me. Like, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. The next was Gundam Evolution.
Skip.
Look, that looked like a free-to-play game to me. It looked like a free-to-play game. You know, like it looked the kind of game that Erodimus in the chat would look.
Oh my god! I was like, what? I was like, a 6v6 shooter. Come on, man. It's probably going to be laggy. There's all heck it's going, because with Gundam games they got a bunch of particle effects all over the place, and that game ain't gonna be able to hold up.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in that one. Next, this one actually kind of shocked me.
I'm very interested in this one.
Ninja Turtles compilation. Now, look, man. Don't
say compilation. You got to say what the name of it. It's the Cowabunga collection, bro.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, man. I'm
Cowabunga.
I'm 41 years old, man. I don't say Cowabunga no more, man. That's not part of my vocabulary. Look, anyway, look. I remember playing a Turtles fighting game back in the day. I don't know if it's the one they showed in that collection, but that game was fire. I loved it. Turtles in Time is a certified classic. I would get this just to play that again.
Yep. Same.
Just to play Turtles in Time again. Matter of fact, after this stream, I might go try to see if I can emulate it on my PC.
Emulate it on your PC and put it on your.
Just because seeing it in the show was like, oh yes, Turtles. I love that game so much. So the game is awesome. So yeah, I think that was a big W. That's a cop.
Easily a cop. Not even a cap, man. We're getting that game day one.
Next was Giga Bash.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's the one where it was like 4v4.
Oh, it was a kaiju game.
It was like 4v4 monsters, like Godzilla's like shooting laser beams at people, and
Godzilla shoots laser beams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm skipping.
It looks pretty. I mean, the one thing I will give that game, it looks pretty. You know how Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare kind of looked?
Yeah.
Like, some people thought that game was stupid, but that game was actually pretty good.
I've never played that game. The title alone told me this is not for me.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. Like, I really like what they like. The one thing I will give EA credit for is they actually did really, really good with that Plants vs. Zombie IP. I really enjoy playing that game when it first came out. The first one, the second one was some to be desired, but the first one I really enjoyed, running around with the sunflower shooting people, and just the animation the sunflower would make when you reloaded its pellet gun. It was cool. I liked it, and this, like, the aesthetic of what I saw of that game, of this Giga Beast, looked, I must say, 100% similar to that, but I can see the open environments that they have, and it really kind of lent to, like, this is going to be a really, really good co-op experience, and I do think that a lot of people are going to be interested in that.
That game looked like a last gen game.
Well, yeah, definitely looked at, but SloMo, all games don't have to look like, Last of Us Remastered.
It could look like it was made in 2028. I mean, sorry, 2018 at least. I mean, like, this looked like it was made in 2009, but that's fine. I mean, look,
it probably was.
If you like it, I love it. I ain't gonna play it, but I'm glad that you like it. I'm a pass on Giga Bash.
I ain't saying I liked it. I'm just saying that it's gonna probably be interesting for some people.
Okay. Next was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, which is a fighting game in which I am not playing because I do not play fighting games anymore.
I stopped playing fighting games too, right along sports games.
Yeah. I probably quit both of those around the same time too.
Yeah.
This one though, I think is going to be a sleeper, one of those sleeper indie games of the year. Devolver Digital. I mean, Devolver Digital rarely misses as a publisher.
That's true.
Trek the Yomi. It looked awesome. I love the cutscenes that they added into it. The gameplay looks fire. It's like a side-scrolling Ghost of Tsushima. It's got that black and white aesthetic. It just looks awesome. It looks awesome. I can't wait to play that. What about you?
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Dang, this looks really interesting." It looks, this game looked like it could be the Sifu of this state of play. A lot of people are going to probably look at this game and be like, "This looks really, really cool, really, really interesting." And the fact that, like you said, Devolver Digital they don't miss too often on type of games and stuff, and I think anybody that loves that feudal Japan and just that overall aesthetic of samurai
feudal.
What did I say? Feudal? I did say feudal.
Feudal Japan.
I did say feudal Japan. But
fetus Japan.
Not fetus. Shut up, SloMo. you get your one for the show. You just got it. You got it. I hope you're happy. But no, I think it looks really, really cool. I really like when they lead into the aesthetic of just the type of atmosphere they're going for, and I do think the white and the black and white aesthetic really, really lends into it. Mm-hmm. Now, if they have the voice action being Japanese, I think that would actually help with it a lot too.
I think they do. I think the option is there. It seems like when they showed the trailer, they seem to have like voice actors in the characters they're portraying as a part of it. So it seems like they're even marketing that like that's a feature there, which I think is a smart idea.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I as soon as I saw it, it's like, yo, and they showed it really well too. Like all you saw was this dude just do a quick slash and his head came off. I was like, oh my, something's going on. Let me keep looking at this. So yeah, I do think presentation is part of it, and I think they did show off the game very, very well for it to be like a 2-minute trailer of it, and it got me really interested. I will say that.
Yeah. Next up is something that you seem very excited about. Returnal is back, and they're adding free content here, adding co-op campaign and a survival mode for free. So I think that's awesome. I never got back to Returnal. And this goes back to, hey, like, this is why you want to make sure games are ready at launch, because Returnal has some issues at launch when it came to bugs and stuff. I was like, you know what? I'll come back when they get this stuff fixed. And even though they got stuff fixed, I was playing other things. And I just never got back to it. I would love to get back into it eventually, but you know, I'm just busy with playing other games right now. Now, this might actually be that co-op campaign might be something.
We should do it together, SloMo.
Maybe that'll be like something that will always get me into a game is a friend being like, "Hey, let's play this. Come play this with me." And I'm always down for that. So I think that might actually end up being something that might bring me back in. I think that's a great idea. What do you think about Returnal?
Dude, I told you I liked the game. I can't say I loved it because the situation where I was a good run in and my save got corrupt and it was a wrap. And I just refused to go back. I said, I'm not giving them 2 more hours. I said, I'll wait till this game is 100% fixed. And they added a lot of quality of life moves to the games. Like it actually saves your runs and stuff like that. So I actually really appreciate that. And the fact, and this is the same thing we were talking about with Halo. This game is giving you something. Not only is it like them fixing it wasn't enough for me to like say I'm gonna jump back in. I did jump in for a second just to see what it was like, to see what the save functionality was in the game. And guess what? That was like a month ago, and I haven't jumped back into the game yet. But this is enough to be like, yo, campaign co-op 2-player has a new survival mode, something else to get people excited to do something different in the game that everybody else hasn't done. This is what makes you want to come back to a game or try a game that you kind of thought you wanted to play, but you just never got around to it. And I will give them kudos for doing that. And it's real interesting that, you know, they're giving it to us for free, because, you know, Sony doesn't like to give anything for free. And I'm actually pretty excited about that. So yeah, I'm definitely in for that. And when I saw the co-op SloMo, I did think about you and that. I was like, man, me and SloMo got to play this on co-op. This would be so fun.
Hey, you know, that might be something we do in the future, man. Maybe there'll be a stream or stream we do together. We'll see. Next up, something these last two I actually were like really happy to see. And I look, shout out to Square, because I've been kind of giving them the smoke recently. They deserved it, especially dropping that Babylon Fall the way they did, and other things that they've done marketing wise, and you know, bad mouthing their own developers and stuff like that. But the Dialfield Chronicle looks great to me. I mean, I haven't really played a strategy RPG since Fire Emblem Three Houses, which was my game of the year. What was that? 2 years ago? 2 years? 2 years ago. I've been kind of wanting to play another. I've been kind of looking at this one, Lost Eidolons, which is still being developed and had a couple of betas, but I'm always down for a good strategy RPG. So that one actually looked really interesting. I liked the number of different characters that were there. It gave me some vibes of Fire Emblem when it comes to having a whole host of characters to get into. What do you think, man?
I am looking forward to that. I am a huge tactics fan, so a lot of people don't know that about me. The cool thing about this game is it's coming to the Switch, and I probably will play it on there because I think these games play best on there due to the fact that you can just pick them up and go.
What? Wait, what?
Listen, I'm not saying. Look, listen, I'm not saying performance wise. I'm talking about.
Hold on, my eyes don't work anymore.
No,
play best where?
I'm not talking about performance wise, SloMo. Listen,
but you just said play best.
Well,
play best means performance.
Okay, yeah, okay, right, okay, fine. The games like this, to me, I prefer to play on the go because I feel like it's a game you can just pick up and just play wherever you're at. I don't want to be tied to just saying, oh, I can only play this when I'm sitting at my on my couch or at my computer or at my TV, because I look at those experiences as like something that I would want to play in that realm. Like I want to play something like Elden Ring or something like Horizon Forbidden West or, you know, Halo or Destiny 2 or something, where this game, yeah, I could do that. I just tend to play tactics games more in a environment where it's like sitting in my bed, laying down, probably doing a couple of missions or something like that, or playing for like an hour and a half and just progressing through the story. That's how I'm doing triangle strategy right now. I have about what, 16 hours into that game, and none of it has been hooked up to a TV. It's all been just sitting either at my computer watching something render, or just sitting back in my car on my break or something, playing the game in the car. So that's just for me. It's not for everybody, but I get it. The game looks phenomenal. I am very excited. I was just hoping when I saw that they showed us that please come to the Switch, and it's coming to the Switch, and I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I brother, the game looks good. I like the aesthetic of what Square has been doing ever since what was it? Bravely Default, games like that, ever since what is the one that's on Xbox Game Pass right now? Octopath Traveler. I love games like that, bro.
But Octopath Traveler, isn't that like that's more traditional?
That's traditional RPG. Yeah, that's got the job. That's got the job system and everything, just like Final Fantasy. It's more traditional Final Fantasy. It's not a tactics game, where this is a true tactics game through and through. You know, turn-based and everything like that. Just like you said, when it comes to games like Fire Emblem, and that's the one. And I will tell you this: that is the one game for some reason that I haven't even played it yet, was Fire Emblem, and I think it was just during the time when I was just playing so many other things, and it's at a point now I just feel like, do I really want to go in and play that game? Because don't you got to beat it 3 different times or something, because it's 3 different factions inside of 3 houses?
You don't have to. You can choose to if you want the full story. Yeah,
you got to play all 3 houses.
Yeah, because if you did, like, say, the Blue Lion playthrough, there's a lot of information that you're missing, because there are things that, like, the leader of that house, Dimitri, that's his name. There are things that Dimitri isn't privy to, and so you are I forgot the main character's name, but like basically, the way the story goes is determined by which house you choose, and so because you chose that house, certain things don't happen, and then certain things could happen if you would have chose a different house. So it's like, it actually is a different, it's the same story up to a certain point, but then after like the halfway point, it branches to a completely different, actually like 4 different storylines. So it's really good. It's got great lore. It's a really good story with great characters.
The only thing I'll ask you, because I am jealous, because I try not to listen to you and Luca when y'all used to talk about it, because I was like, I might want to play this one day. I don't want to hear what they're saying. If I did start, or I probably will at some point. The game's like $19.99 right now too. If I did start that, which faction do you think is the one you should start with? If you started,
I would say, okay, either Black Eagle or Golden Deer. And I'll say that because Black Eagle has the option of 2 separate story arcs that you can go, and you'll get a lot of information about what's really happening and what's going on and all that stuff. Golden Deer probably. I didn't even finish Golden Deer. Luca did. I did the two storylines for Black Eagle, and I did Blue Lion. I didn't finish Golden Deer before I sold my Switch, but when I do emulate these games, that'll be the first one I go through. Golden Deer, it gives you a more comprehensive look at the entire story, I think. So it's like, one of those, and then I would say do Blue Lion last if you want to, because Blue Lion still has a very interesting story as well. But
cool.
That's the
Yeah, but the game looks really, really good, and I know you're super into games like that, just like you are in the next one, the Valkyrie Elysium, and the Valkyrie Chronicle games have always been. Oh my
gosh, that one looked good. That gameplay, that combat. That combat sold me. You got a female protagonist. The combat looks awesome. I'm down for that one. I think the art direction they went with is a little less hard on hardware, a little less like really expensive when it comes to being able to have the hard, like these like your PC or your PlayStation or your Xbox like actually perform and get it out there and get it looking correctly, so that there's a chance that it will have less bugs and issues at launch. I'm just really like I was surprised about that one, and I really like that one too. So yeah.
Did you play any of the other Valkyrie Chronicle games and stuff?
No.
Oh, so this would be your first one.
I have this one's it's called Valkyrie Elysium. So that's the same within the series of Valkyrie Chronicles. Valkyrie Chronicles I thought was more strategy RPG.
I think they're different games, but I think they're in the same. Played them. I think they're like in the same unit. Don't quote me wrong, because this is the first time I saw this one and stuff. Normally I think they're in the same universe, but they are different games.
All right, let me actually real quick.
Yeah, look it up and see. I'm not 100% sure.
Who makes the series, the Valkyrie Chronicles series? Actually, I don't think they're related because Sega is the publisher.
Oh, Sega. Okay, Sega makes those. Okay.
Yeah, so I think this is different, which is fine. If this is a brand new IP, cool. Bet.
That's good. Yeah,
I'm down with that. But I think that's about it. Like, so overall, I thought it was I was pleasantly surprised that it was a good state of play. Some of them have been very blah, with nothing that I'm interested in, or games that I've already seen multiple times before, and I just don't really care to see it again until the game comes out. I'm very much like that. When I'm ready for a game, when I'm in on the game, I don't want to see trailers no more, because I kind of feel like you're just spoiling content that I want to actually consume while I'm playing the game at that point. So there wasn't too much of that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. What about you, man? The full show. I was looking at what I took a break and stuff between customer stuff, and it was good. I do appreciate the 20 minutes, and I also appreciate them coming out setting expectations, and they definitely showed off a lot of what their Japanese partners and stuff are working on, and I think that a lot of people are going to be excited for what they did, and I think the Returnal thing was kind of a really, really good surprise to throw in there, something that people probably wasn't expecting, because they did say it was going to be Japanese themed only, so that was a nice little nugget they threw in there. But yeah, I give it I don't want to give it a score or anything, but I do think it's one of the better ones that they have done recently. And I think it's just because the messaging has gotten a lot better around them over the course of the last couple of months. Cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We are, we started a little late, but we hitting on that 2-hour mark, this is probably be the shortest stream you've had in a good little while. But Forte, let the fine people know where they can find you and what you got going on for the rest of the week.
Oh yeah, shout out to the chat, man. You guys are always bringing the energy. Your boy was tired, he's sleepy, he about to go get something to eat, because I literally walked in my basement and got on this podcast because I didn't want to keep the man SloMo waiting. But you guys know where you can find me, Gaming Forte on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Check all that information out. It's always a great time being here with you guys. Going to be finishing up some Destiny stuff, and then going to be jumping in that Elden Ring probably in the next week. Probably by next weekend, I'll be jumping in.
What platform are you getting it on?
I'm going to get on PlayStation.
Bet. Like, hey, look. When you get in there, we'll co-op together. I'll, help you out. Give you some weapons or something that, like, whatever kind of build you're trying to roll with. If I got weapons that would, or gear that would help you out for that I'm not using, you can have it. It's all good.
Yeah, I was gonna get on the Xbox, but then I saw that you, Luca, and I was like, well, the people I would play this game with the most are already on PlayStation, so I'll just play them.
That's why I got it on PlayStation instead of PC, because I looked at the number of people who were playing the game or intending to play the game, and I just saw far more of them were playing on PC than on Xbox. I said PC, on PlayStation than PC or Xbox, and I'll eventually get it on PC once they get the performance issues ironed out, and I can find a way to actually do the mods without being banned.
Right.
So, shout out to Corey Hale with the $20 super chat showing support. Thank you, Corey.
Shout out to you, Corey. Shout out to you. And also, guys, shout out to Chris Singleton. Said he gonna go back to listening to that Lucas Springer show. Listen, that show was fire. Yo,
fire.
That show was fire. I was listening to it at work. I was like,
Hibachi.
I was like, Luca, did Luca go try to caveat it at the end of the show saying, oh, this is only going to be a one-off. It was a really good conversation, but don't expect this all the time. I'm like, screw that. Luca, you need to lean into that because I think you found gold. You literally found gold right here.
She found a niche right there. Yeah, she needs to do that like once a week. Make it a thing. Yeah. Come up with a title. I don't know, maybe... look, I don't want no royalties for this, but Scum Court,
Court.
Bring these fanboys in, put them on the stand, make them hold them accountable for their fanboyish ways. Let's do it, man.
I really I couldn't believe. At first, I was irritated. I was like, "Luke up here playing with the food. Stop playing with your food, Luke, and get this over with." But then the more and more people were talking, I was like, "Man, the incrimination of these people, it's great, and I immensely enjoyed what you did there. If you still in the chat, Luca, I really enjoyed it. So I think you found something. I want you to lean into that as much as possible. And anybody that hasn't listened to it is a very, very long stream, but it was well worth the listen if you can. So make sure you go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Luca. For myself, I may go live tomorrow for another lunchtime with SloMo on Twitch. Just not quite sure. It depends on work. I think work probably will prevent me from doing so, and I apologize. I've only probably been live once this week, and that's going to change starting next week. I will have this video out tomorrow, because what I won't be doing is playing Alien Isolation for you guys' enjoyment to watch me in misery. So that's not happening. I'm gonna have it out. I'm gonna finish everything up. Hopefully tonight I'll finish everything up, and then I'll work on the thumbnail in the morning, get it all out. The video, I think I'm gonna be pretty happy with it overall. It's something I've been working on for a little while. So hope you guys enjoy it when it does come out, and come check it out. And when it does go live, I really appreciate that. And that's it. I think we're good. Thank you guys for the guys in the chat for being a marvelous chat once again for episode 74. We're going to see you guys next week on Forte's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern, not 9:30 like tonight, but 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday night on his channel, Gaming Forte. If you're not subbed yet, please go do so now. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Peace.